Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys have had a good week and a good weekend as well so far. It's Super Bowl night tonight for those of you in the States and for those of you across the world, including in the UK like myself, who quite enjoy the NFL. Good day to Mark, MG King, Avix Bullet, Richard, Badger, hello guys, MPS Gaming, good afternoon to you. Ian in Western Australia, good evening to you, very late for you. Next weekend I'll be looking to do an early stream for those of you that the other side of the world and down under, upside down as well, so we'll work something out for that. Zato, good morning as well. Jay, hello. Avix, Richard. Hope you guys are well. We're flying Turkish Airlines today in the new PMDG 737-900ER in Microsoft Flight Simulator. For a flight out of Antalya, we've got Just Sims Antalya Airport scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator here today. And we're flying to Sarajevo. And we've got MXI Designs payware scenery for that, but it's pretty rubbish payware, to be totally honest with you, at Sarajevo. So I wouldn't recommend purchasing it if you're looking to buy that sort of thing, anybody. Jay, yeah, hope you're well, buddy. How are you getting on? Today's flight is going to be quite scenic, to be honest. Flying into Sarajevo, it's surrounded by mountains, it's going to be quite nice. But also throughout the stream you'll see in the live chat a pinned message, basically. So with everything that's happened in Turkey and Syria at the moment, over 17 million people need a little bit of help, so you can donate to the Disasters Emergency Committee Turkey Syria Earthquake Appeal via the link in the live chat as well. Optional, of course, depending on your politics. From what I found in Discord the other day, you may or may not want to do that, but there are a lot of people dead from the earthquake, a lot of people in need of support, so we'll try and do our little bit. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow for, well, there's fundraising options, but it doesn't allow for many outside of the US. You then have to request for them to add a charity into YouTube, but it has a review period which takes a few weeks. So the solution is the pinned message with the direct link to the DEC appeal there, for basically supporting lots of various charities on the ground, various parts of Turkey and Syria, doing the good work, trying to help people. Flight time today, about 2 hours. We're flying into a VATAdria event covering Pula, Sarajevo and Pristina today. So there's 3 airports that are going to be opened. We're flying into one of them, possibly the most scenic of the 3 actually, to be honest. Although Pristina's pretty nice. And we've done a bit of liaising with the folks at VATAdria as well. Effectively, they're going to see if they can get us in on the on runway 29 for a circling approach, which is completely uncharted when we get to Sarajevo. It depends on spacing and traffic and everything as well, but the ILS 11 will of course be the natural option. Here we are in Antalya, South Turkey. We're expecting out of runway 18 left today for an RNAV departure. We're expecting the Evbol 1 Foxtrot. If you're new to the channel, hit like, hit subscribe. So, long taxi today at Antalya. We're going to be heading out of Apron 1, down taxiway Golf, or Lima actually. We'll probably taxi down Lima. I'm not sure if Juliet is there, we'll find out when we get there, but if it is, we'll use Juliet to get across to the other side, up Mike, onto Hold Point Victor, runway 18 left for a departure southbound over the water. If not, we might have to go all the way down to Apron 2, back round on ourselves and up. It's a fairly long taxi today. We've got the Luke Air tool as well for the cabin announcements. And then have to take off 182 degrees for 10 miles over the water, climbing up to 7,000. Alpha India 069, then heading westbound towards the mountains. Climbing up to our cruise altitude today that's been basically worked out as our optimum flight level of 340 today. So we're doing that, though real life they've flown at flight level 360, I think it was, Doc, wasn't it, that you initially allocated to us. So I've done a little bit of running of the numbers, and it suggested 340 is better for today's flight specifically, so we'll go with that. The cruise. From there, we're going to head up to Lamsa, 281 to Evbol, and then away we go. Out of Turkish airspace eventually. There's Izmir. Then over a little bit of Greek airspace. Heading over the island of Limnos, north of Thessaloniki, before heading over Skopje, Pristina, Bravo Kilo Papa Romeo. That'll be opened as part of the event. Starts at 1600 UTC. And then into Sarajevo there via the Sarajevo VOR arrival at Keb. So it's going to kind of look like this. We'll brief the arrival when we do get closer, but we're going to go Keb. Probably Timid or Norpi, most likely Norpi I think, or Adnan. Keb 1 Alpha actually, isn't it? So I think we do have that preset. Let me just double check. Keb 1 Tango, it reckons, according to Brief, which will take us into Timid, which is good actually, because it's going to basically have us fly an extended downwind leg effectively there, which is good. And then we'll be turning in, most likely from Timid, there we go, for this 18 DME arc with the ILS approach, and from there we'll then break off, if ATC allow us to do the circling approach, we'll break off at that point and fly the approach. Tricky approach though, tricky landing. Into Sarajevo, surrounded by mountains. It's 1,700 feet above sea level, slightly higher altitudes, and they require backtracks at most of them as well. So certainly 29, we'll have to land, taxi down to the end, and then backtrack down to vacate at Charlie. And there's only a handful of stands available as well. So those of you taking off behind me, I'd probably give about 4 minutes separation after my departure, just to make sure we don't all bunch up. But the folks at VATAdria will be vectoring us and helping with our spacings and everything as well when we get a little bit closer. But that's the brief for today. Doc's got the taxi route into the live chat. Lima Juliet, Mike, Victor. Lovely, thank you, Doc. Zato, welcome. Speaking of A310 now, please scream at me, but I'm supposed to be an A310, no Turkish. Ah, it's fine. I don't mind. There we go, first trip in the 737-900 as well, and we've got most of the pre-flight stuff set up as well. Arco supporting the Chiefs tonight. I'm a Patriots fan as well myself. Hello Jurassic, I hope you're well, buddy. We have got wing views set up as well, Juliet Sierra Whiskey X-Ray. Oh, actually not in the 300, the 900ER I should say, sorry. So before we push back, we'll actually go through those. M1 limits, VAS Airplane Toolbox is giving us a cell temp of 44 degrees Celsius and takeoff profile 1 for a 26k D rate. We'll go for climb profile 2, nice climb out of Antalya, where the wind's currently at 170 at 9. We need to add our departure in. So out of 18 left, as we spoke about a moment ago. Evbol 1 Foxtrot, which is that one. We'll just check the data as well to make sure it links up and we don't have any discontinuities. Looking okay. And then we basically now put in our V-speed. So 158, 168 is adding the 10. We're not going to use VOR for departure, but we'll have one set up anyway, just in case. Pop the engine, the water brake onto RTO. Let's pop the aft fuel pump on, and then we'll start the APU. Get that online. Squawk 2000, 1228 for Unicom. There's our cruise information. And a QNH of 1021. Flight Sim, welcome. Near burner as well. Yeah, Mahaba, everybody. Good point, Doc. So, let's walk through into the cabin briefly, just to get some custom views set up. Got to have a few in first class. I've got myself stuck already, wedged. Brilliant. Happens every time. A little bit fiddly doing this, to be honest, but oh, for goodness sake, here we go. Right. Try a different row. No. Okay, so it's letting us go down. It's interesting actually, because it's letting us go to certain areas. So like this here. And then from here we're just going to have to walk down the actual edge of the windows to set the custom views. So I usually start at aircraft left, but we'll go here aircraft right instead this time and set a few. So I'll do Control-Alt-9. So the flight deck door isn't animated on the 737s with PMDG's NG series yet. However, you could do what we've just done now and basically walk through the flight deck door now, which is nice that they've sorted that out. Peter, good afternoon. Been with us for over 2 years now. Thank you for your ongoing support. Ah, Jurassic, no worries at all, buddy. I hope you're great. I hope you're well. Lot going on in the simming world, isn't there, at the moment? Aerosoft's shared the other day a few more images of the upcoming A330 from those guys. There we are, we want that window. So we've done 9, 8. Seven and 6. Then we take the camera, we zip across the aisle for custom view 5. So you don't have to edit any config codes or anything like that as we would have done previously. You still could do it that way, go through, refresh the files and all that sort of thing. That is another way of doing it. And the bonus of that particular method means that we can actually get outside of the aircraft, which allows for a better custom view system. Takes away the need to kind of nestle against the fuselage for a lot of this. But the custom views that we get by doing this easier method certainly are fine, at least in my mind. Got to avoid the seats and the structures of the fuselage. 3. So we've got 5. No, that needs to be 4 then. And then 3. Done. How quick did that take? A few minutes. In that time, the APU's fired up, so we can get the APU generators online. Have a little look at the power output of those as well up here by flicking the AC status switch across. Check on all of our bits in the overhead panel, the yaw dampers and everything too. Fuel-wise, we've got 3.54 tons in these centre tanks, so for pushback and startup we need to turn them all on, including the centre tanks today. Make sure the engine 1 and 2 bleeds are off. And then we'll pop the APU bleed on as well. Cruise flight level 340, current altitude's 180, so we need to set that to 200 for the pressurization panel. 7,000 set on the MCP, initial departure heading of 182 degrees and V2 plus 10 of 168, auto brakes RTO. 1228 for departure, and we've got a transponder code 2000 set, and our trim as well set to 4.8 something. At 5.08 now actually. Happy days. Delta Tango, hello. Yes, Jurassic. No news on anything like a Saab 340 or a Dash. prep for pushback. So we're going to push start, facing south. Eldin, hello to you, saying enjoy Adria. MPS Gaming's got the PMDG 737-900 as well, but hasn't flown it yet. Wow, okay. Only checked and set up the FMC from cold and dark. Yeah, there's no reason to kind of dive in head first, is there? If you want to take your time learning some of the tweaks and differences. Great reflection of the literally the flap file there. My goodness. So FS actions, brakes are set, ground services, wheel chocks removed. Pop the anti-collision lights on as well for now. Ian's going to have his first flight in the 737-900 today. Excellent. This is only my second, to be fair. Just got to be gentle on rotation to prevent that flare. It's obviously a lot longer at the back, and because of that, then we worry about things like tail strikes. So even more so than the 800 variant of the jet. This is the ER variant, extended range. We've got even bigger fuel tanks on board. And we'll be on Unicom through Turkish airspace for a little while. Until we get past Izmir, we'll tune into Athens radar. But beyond that, then we should start to see VATAdria come online, I believe. We want nose right, tail left. Antalya traffic, Turkish 1, Delta Romeo, stand 115, Bravo, QNH 1021, push start, facing south. Softly, softly, that's it, and then allow it to lift into the air.
Commencing push.
Okay, so packs off. Ignition on both, and we'll go auto ground. And you know what? They've done it the opposite. Have they done it the opposite? My goodness, this is a weird pushback. I've got it. This is a custom GSX profile for Antalya, by the way. So I'm kind of hoping that they've actually set it up correctly. Hi, Mahaba. No worries, buddy. I hope you're well. It's been a little while. How are you? Hopefully you're enjoying controlling Turkey still. Jeff, basically when Jeff buys a new airliner, he's saying in the chat there, he sits in the thing on the ground for about a week before it even touches the runway. Nice. Has it just totally overshot the... I don't know. We'll just let it run and see what happens really with the pushback, to be honest. David's just approaching Sarajevo. It has as well. So this is someone who set up a custom pushback that obviously doesn't understand how it works. So we're going to stop the pushback procedure now, I think.
Please set parking brakes.
Yeah, I'm going to stop here if GSX is broken with a custom profile.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
That's good, isn't it? Custom profile with custom pushback, apparently. Not really. To be fair, that isn't GSX's fault. If I had probably got the default pushback set up, that might have actually worked. Like the default brains of GSX, but this is somebody's custom profile to supposedly make it work better. And it obviously hasn't. It's made it messier. The GSX profiles that you can download on flightsim.to a lot of the time rely on the people creating them to actually A, know what they're doing, B, take the time to actually do it properly. If they don't, this is what the result is.
Stand 231. Yes,
he's going to be axed. He looked very angry though, doesn't he? Look, very tense at the wheel.
Tow track disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Brilliant. Take him straight to the supervisor, will you?
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, engines 1 and 2. Let's get taxi lights on. Don't want to hang around in this stand too long. So that's all good. System page. We will do taxi checks for the control surfaces whilst on the move, I think. So, Antalya traffic, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, taxi into hold point Victor, runway 18 left via Lima, Juliet, Mike and Victor. Fully right. Fully left. All the way back. Back to centre, all the way forwards, back to the centre, and then some rudder checks as well. Oh, honestly, let me just get rid of GSX. Custom profiles are a right mess.
Please switch your mobile phones and all other electronic devices to flight mode. Mobile phones and other electronic devices without a flight mode must
Let's
be
move.
switched
Let's
off.
go for it. So,
Take off and
LNAV.
landing. Please unplug
Hey,
all your
heck?
electronic devices. Smartphones, tablets, and other small devices may be held, but laptops and larger devices must be stowed in their cases in the overhead compartment
Lima Juliet
or
Mike.
under the seat in front of you. If a device is lost or falls into the seat structure, do not move your seat. Just call a member of our cabin crew. It is illegal to smoke on this flight, including electronic cigarettes. It is also strictly prohibited to smoke in the lavatories, which are equipped with smoke detectors. Should there be a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down automatically.
Adam, it's preset to be
Take the
honest.
nearest mask. Place it over your nose and mouth.
Auto throttle arms. We're going to have to divert our taxi route here
And keep breathing
and take
normally.
Bravo.
Make sure your mask is well adjusted before helping others. Emergency exits are located on each side of the cabin at the front, center, and
Go
rear.
flap 5.
The exit signs will help you locate them. Take a moment now to locate your nearest sign, which may be behind you. In the event of an emergency
Supposed to be
evacuation,
facing south and
use the
taxiing on
aircraft
Lima,
following the
but
exit signs
not
and the
working out.
illuminated path along the aisle. To ensure a quick evacuation, please leave behind all hand luggage, high heels, and sharp objects. You will find your life vest attached to your seat as shown. If needed, slip it over your head, attach the strap.
Andrew, no worries, buddy. How are you finding the 737?
Turkish 203 following the company 737.
Or 2. The light will come on when in contact
And
with
you're more than
water.
welcome. Great to hear that you
The
enjoy
crew
all the
will provide
content,
life
Andrew, of
vests
course.
for infants. Please only put the life vest on your infant in an emergency situation.
Slowly
and
learning how to
inflate it
prep, fly and
immediately.
land the 737 series aircraft in MSFS, Andrew is. Flaps 5 and green. Let's see if the auto thrust goes back on.
Takeoff and landing, please make sure that your window blind is open, your tray table is closed, and your seat back is fully upright. Please stow your footrest, video screen, and handset. Thank you for your attention. For more details, please read the safety card in your seat pocket.
We'll do a little master caution
Make sure you
reset.
follow
Look
all
far
signs
left.
And cabin crew instructions at all times. Enjoy your flight.
We'll go back onto our correct taxi routing, I think. That's the safety demonstration already complete. Nearberder did his first 737 flight the other day. Very different from the A320, but takes me back to my top lane of the CRJ. A little bit more hands-on. Absolutely. I feel like you get a little bit more back from the experience, don't you? Round we go. Dancing Pilot, hello buddy, thank you. We're going to be driving through all of these ground vehicles today, because they are all in the way doing some crazy stuff. Andrew's saying he likes the 900ER because it gives options for long haul if needed, and the 600 for short flights and runways. Yeah, the 600 is great fun, isn't it?
Antalya traffic, Turkish 2472 is taxiing to runway 18 left via Mike and holding at Victor to entertain your traffic.
That's all good. A quick check of this, they're both in continuous. Gens 1 and 2. AP off. Left on Juliet. We are taxiing fast. I'm aiming to get to Sarajevo at a very specific time. There's a 5-minute window that I've basically said that I'm aiming to achieve an arrival into the event, because that way we can try and get organised for a circling approach. Over a little bridge, that's quite cool. Didn't expect to see that there, to be fair, in the scenery. But the levelling of the taxiway there is a little bit rough. Big wait for the 757, Andrew. It's going to be fantastic, isn't it? That's it. Basically Southwest, but with a repaint. So again, the key thing for this is going to be careful management of the rotation on departure. Same with flare as well after landing when we arrive. Fabio, it's been out for over a year actually, this Just Sim Antalya. It's pretty average, to be honest with you, but it's the only Antalya airport payware scenery that you can purchase. A couple of the guys flying along today have got a freeware Antalya from flightsim.to, which apparently is alright, so it may be worth checking that out. I wasn't aware of that one pre-stream today, so we haven't got it. Looking right and left for the turn. So the key that we found for departure the other day when we flew it for the very first time live on release day was basically rotating gently and allowing for a very soft takeoff, effectively letting it lift off the ground itself with the nose just a couple of degrees up in the air, and then you go from there. Go fuel flow, reset rate, that is on RTO, flaps 5 and green, flight directors are both on, LNAV, VNAV. Auto thrust armed, takeoff is briefed. They're both in continuous. Let's pop the taxi lights off, runway turn off lights on. Pop the strobes on. Pressurization panels are all set. They're all looking good. Bleeds are on auto. Pop terrain map on for now as well for takeoff. Not so much an issue over the water. Jeff, yeah, pretty much. I'll try and aim for 5 to 7, to be honest. I've got this big fear of getting a tail strike in this thing, bizarrely. So I'll try and go gentle. Traffic. Antalya traffic, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo is lining up via Hold Point Victor, runway 18 left, taking off Evbol 1 Foxtrot departure, Antalya traffic. 7 degrees for the sweet spot, Richard says. Lock. And get that control visualizer up for you guys as well. To be fair, if I roll now, because there's a couple of guys slow taxi, that'll be about 4 minutes. So that'll work out nicely for spacing. 40%-ish. Stable, toga. Scrape the tail. So again, same as the 737-800 and the 700, we're pushing the stick forward slightly until about 80 knots. And we're going to release that ever so slight forward pressure on the nose wheel. pushing weight onto the front of the aeroplane
Antalya,
effectively.
Turkey, 03, lining up, runway
You can see it,
18
Osprey
left.
taxiing along. Here we go.
V1, rotate. V2.
5 degrees, holding 7, and airborne. Just as you start to clear away, follow the flight director, go from there. We're away. Awesome departure. We're going to have to watch that pitch, look. Still pitching up. So we're going to just ease that nose gently forwards. Maybe a little bit of retrim as well to help. And then wings level CMDA engage. Antalya traffic, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo is airborne 2,000 feet climbing. So, auto brake off, flaps are going to up, so we're looking for no lights, gear is up, lights are off, let's turn it off completely, pop those off, runway turn off lights off. Climbing away, we're going to keep an eye on that cabin pressure in a little while as we get further into the climb.
Antalya traffic, Turkish 2306, correction, Turkish 2203, departing 18 left, runway heading.
It's quite a quick departure here really, because, oh wow, look at that. We're accelerating to 250 knots already. Our first waypoint is going to be... Our first constraint, sorry, I should say, is going to be Alpha India 611 at or below 7,000 feet. That's certainly achievable. We're going to be flying 7,000 feet. Well, we'll be at 7,000 feet quite shortly, to be honest. There it is, at or below 7,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your own safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you remain seated. Please be careful when opening the overhead bins. Thank you.
Sayın yolcularımız, emniyetiniz için oturduğunuz
Pressurization
sürece
beginning.
kemerinizi bağlı tutunuz.
Happy days.
Başüstü dolaplarını açarken dikkatli olunuz.
Again, as always, all our screenshots today will go on to Valanta.
We are pleased to offer live team and wireless internet and mobile data communication on this flight. You may connect to the internet free of charge with your personal electronic devices and send or receive text messages or the roaming rates of your operator. You can watch the latest events on the Sport 24 channel.
Automated good morning to you. Flight Sim, no worries at all. Who's playing? Arco flew the 739 in Turkish livery a couple of days ago, Adana to Bodrum. Really nice scenery ideas actually. Adana's got some payware that we enjoyed a little while ago from memory. Sukai Baru's asking, is anybody tracking the Antonov 225 progress? I think most of the community is, to be honest. Let's keep it climbing. What we'll do now is we'll just continue through the constraint by pressing altitude intervention. And we'll aim for 340 straight up. Got to clear those mountains. Okay, done. Make sure this is in line with our heading, a new heading. Post turn. About 2 hours aviation. David, good afternoon.
Traffic, Turkish 2472 is holding at Victor as there is an aircraft on final.
There's Antalya. If it looks better out of the wing views. Coastal views are always a good tick, look at that. Steep climb as well. It's a very scenic departure. Very steep departure as well. This is climb profile 2 as well. Richard, have a look at Sky Dolly on flightsim.to. It's free. Very good. A little bit clunky at times though, but works certainly well enough. That's a bit steep, Zato, yeah. Straighting pop-ups. Look at that. Very nice. Antalya Port. Oh, we're going to be hammering the screenshots today.
Behind the landing traffic. Gully traffic.
Hello, Croaky. Speedbird 163 Juliet. Through 10. Got the landing lights off. Speed's gone up quite nicely as well. We'll check the cabin pressure because soon we're going to be low oxygen altitudes. Wow, look at that. Richard burnt his coffee, my goodness. Hope you like your coffee bitter. Very cool, look at this. Let's go back here because it's quite a nice GoPro cam kind of style. My goodness, what am I doing? Kind of following this valley actually, it's quite interesting. Cloud, probably not for a long time if I'm totally honest with you, it's pretty crap.
Antalya traffic, Turkish 2472 is rolling runway 18 left, expecting the F-ball 1 subsequent departure. Antalya traffic.
Prasic had a choice on whether to purchase the 737-900 from PMDG or the Kodiak. I went Kodiak, mild regrets, he says. I've not got the Kodiak, but to be fair, I've heard good things about it. A lot of people enjoying it, so a lot of options for you available with that still. 2,300 foot per minute climb. It's nowhere near as steep as Zato, my goodness.
Antalya traffic, lining up, runway 18 left.
This is very, very scenic. Andrew says, from watching your landings, Luke, then what I did on my first flight in the 900, I think people like yourself, flight deck to sim, X-Plane, 72 Q8 pilot, etc. are very talented and professional. It's not as easy as it looks. Very kind. Certainly to be held in the same regard as the likes of flight deck to sim. Very, very kind of you. Andrew, what sort of approach? Is it an ILS, buddy? Nishao, it's an RTX 2070 Super. Yeah, that's going to be cool, Jeff. SWS 727. Cruise altitude, flight level 340, Zato. Andrew, if you're flying an RNAV approach, then I would ignore the VOR lock button entirely. Then it depends if it's an approach that is led by, if it's LNAV and VNAV RNAV approach, or if it's just an LNAV approach as well. That's probably the next question. But the 3060 is probably better, Adam, to be honest. The 2070 Super is previous generation. And Doc popped the command into the live chat, but it didn't do anything. So let me just check Streamlabs. I think it may have reset itself again. Oh no, it says it's there. That's weird. Doc, no, I went for optimal. And the optimal suggested 340. Like always, we're flying with the 737-900ER, just in case we get any master cautions, master warnings for the flight today. We'll have to then deal with them. We've got service-based failures switched on and everything else for that kind of realistic wear and tear of the aircraft being simulated, as well as the checklist that I've created for the 737NG series in MSFS. 2 pages, nice and handy. We are at this section here, really. Then we'll be focusing on descent. And as a little reminder again, in the live chat there is a link to the Disasters Emergency Committee appeal for the Turkey-Syria earthquake. Over 28,000 people now dead, unfortunately. Thousands injured and trapped, 17 million people affected. And by clicking the link in the live chat, it is entirely voluntary, of course. Don't have to, but by doing so it allows various charities like the British Red Cross, Save the Children, a few others to buy blankets, generators, warm clothing. It also helps the rescue efforts going on in the area too. Jack, hello buddy, welcome. Sorry for your tardiness, no worries at all. But I wanted to do something to kind of, well, try and help in any way. Jack, you know worries at all. Zato's going to be passing us, I assume from above with that climb rate. Are you Chinese spy balloon altitude or or slightly lower? Mr. MC, welcome aboard. Trey London as well, hitting subscribe earlier on, thank you very much, welcome on board to you as well. Yeah, so just kind of go through what Andrew was talking about in relation to RNAV approaches. If it's LNAV VNAV, a lot of the time you'll leave it in those modes. You may arm approach as well, but you wouldn't tune an ILS frequency, because if you did and you clicked approach, it would then fly the ILS frequency, and then you'd need to set the courses and everything else as well. A little bit more confusing than an Airbus, but it's more hands-on, more enjoyable to learn. That's the problem, Jurassic, and whilst I can't stand Erdogan and their fairly authoritarian, corrupt government, yeah, it's the people on the ground that need help, ultimately, regardless of what our beliefs are. Even, you know, Syria as well. That's why we've selected the Disasters Emergency Committee for the link, because it's money that will not make it to their governments necessarily. Certainly Syria in the Assad regime. But that's going into politics a bit too much. Can't see Zato yet. Quantum entanglement. Don't even know what that is. God, give us a summary, Jack. What is that? What is quantum entanglement? Need to change that wheel as well. Where's the camera? So use flow. So we want movement 2 and 7. Fritz pointed that out to me a little while ago, and yeah, turns out that's a really good tip. 6 is probably the sweet spot then. Yes, there we go. It's like Turkish Airlines promotional advert. 100% Jurassic, 100%. Adam, I'm not sure, to be honest. It may well be that they've not configured it correctly. So that's maybe where like a Navigraph Ultimate subscription would come into play, perhaps. Lazaros, good afternoon, welcome. Automator's asking, any thoughts on the 777 release timing? Didn't Robert say it's going into beta soon? So, yes, he did mention that. Initial beta, I have no idea how long that is going to take, though, to be totally honest. He's not given any indications whatsoever in relation to what may be considered to be a release month, let alone a release date. So, yeah, we're a long way away yet for that PMDG 777. Hopefully it will be here around summertime. Perhaps they will try and target it. Maybe target it for the early summer. That would be quite an ideal time, actually, to be fair, wouldn't it? One 29675 for Antalya radar. 129675. May well be soon in the upcoming new sort of generation of 737 aircraft. That moving trim wheel may vanish. The Ghost, welcome on board. Oh, Lazarus, I think that's going to be a long way away yet. Maybe cross the pond 2024, perhaps. The A380 is going to be great. Jack's summary of quantum entanglement is how particles affect each other. The weird bit comes in because the particles don't need to be anywhere near each other and they're affected by other particles. So is that kind of like the butterfly effect then? That's my sort of stupid person's way of trying to understand quantum entanglement, butterfly effect. Good work, Ian. Oh right, interesting. So would that be the same way that a black hole kind of works then? Something gets sucked into that and then it ends up somewhere else, apparently. Spooky action at a distance, Albert Einstein said for that. My goodness. I tried to learn physics when I was in sixth form years ago. Studied physics, but yeah. Never could quite understand it, although, to be honest, my my teacher, Mr. Hewitt, at the time, still remember his name, we always used to have, bear in mind physics was on a Friday, it was twice a week, well, I think it was Wednesday and a Friday, but every Friday was Cake Friday, so we always had to, each one of us took it in turns in the class to bring in a cake, and we just sat and ate it for an hour, and mucked about. That's probably why I failed. Most of us failed. Hey ho. Complex Physics Dirty 2, welcome back. We've gone big brain on stream today. Yeah. If you get offered Cake Fridays, Jack, don't take it up. Let's keep that heading collar rotating round. So the approach into Sarajevo is going to most likely be, well, regardless of what we get, to be honest, it's going to be runway 11 initially that we can set up for. We could probably throw in the arrivals now already, to be honest. So ILS Yankee 11 via Heb 1 Tango. Transition of Keb. That's it. Execute. And if we look at further down the route from Keb, and then we've got Timid at above 6,000, then the discontinuity. Ooh, interesting. Keb, Timid, and then Keb. We don't want to go back to Keb. Just kind of repeated itself. So if I get hold on a second. Delta 307 Romeo, that's going to be the DME arc 6,000 above Alpha Foxtrot 003. Rivers 5,400, bypassing that. And final approach. Okay. I'm going to select Delta 307 Romeo, and I'm going to put it there because it will remove those two waypoints for Keb and Timid, so it's continuation there. So Keb, Timid, Delta 307 Romeo, Foxtrot 003 and 4 into Rivers, and then final approach. Neatens that up a little bit. One thing that we probably need to think about is runway 11. Setting a radius, or I don't know, we'll do a fixed ring of 4 miles. And we'll do 8 miles, we need to be at 4,200 feet for the ILS basically, regardless. And that's a fair bit of our prep already complete, to be totally honest. Hey Croaky, hello buddy. Flying to Tel Aviv, aren't you, with is it BA Speedbird 163 Juliet on VATSIM today? Jack saying quantum entanglement is a little bit different from black holes, closer to wormholes, but all theoretical at present. Yeah, I find a lot of it is very theoretical, isn't it? That's the thing. And then like in 10-15 years, someone will find something else out that will completely rewrite everything we understand about quantum physics or whatever else it might be. I love geography, so that was great. That's the one I did incredibly well at. Very much enjoyed that. Glaciers and all that sort of stuff as well. Absolutely, Richard. And you know what? I remember doing GCSE maths. I've not done Pythagoras once since I left school. What have we got? Sisfo, Izmir coming up in 80 miles, 75 miles. Rixo's beginning of Greek airspace. Got a little while to chill. Now we've reached cruise. Oh no, Jack, it's interesting. it's stuff that blows my mind. I'm really, yeah. I wish I understood it more. That's kind of why I sink myself into things like meteorology and all that sort of stuff. Find it really interesting. Yeah, 3 now. It's no doubt going to be another spy balloon, but I'm glad now people are taking a bit more of a serious, no mucking around stance on it, to be honest. Crikey, Richard. I say you wouldn't want me doing science stuff, to be honest. Well, yeah, there is that, I suppose. It's a little bit of Pythagoras in estimated descent calculations. But then, all I do is punch it into a calculator. Or VATS Airplane Toolbox. That does Pythagoras for me. Or, yeah, a good VNAV, like in the PMDG 737, that basically does Pythagoras for us. Centuria, good morning to you. Welcome, welcome. So our sort of rough takeoff weight earlier on out of Antalya was 73.3 tons. We're looking at landing roughly with 68.3 tons as a planned landing weight. So we're pretty heavy, and we need to change the landing altitude in the pressurization panel, and think about runway lengths and everything like that too. But it's some quick calculations using VATS Airplane Toolbox, assuming that we're going to be given the circling approach runway 29 into Sarajevo. We'll be using both reversers and auto brake 3, which should give us a stop at 880 meters left. Landing altitude, we mentioned earlier Sarajevo is pretty high altitude. It's airport elevation of 1,705 feet, so 1,700 in the box would be a good start. We can put that in now, saves us a little job later. If we divert for any reason, we can just change that when we pull up the new charts for any diversions. Richard, have a good day. As I was reading that blown up, my reaction was exactly that for everyone else. So, yeah, blown up saying physicist incorporates the graviton into the standard model in a way that works, and everyone else, including me just then reading it, was a what? No idea. I wish I understood more of that stuff. Basically science. Peter, hello, welcome. Transitions by ATC. So the departure transitions are 10,000 feet. So I'm going to assume, what's the QNH? 1033. Wow, okay. We'll go for 11,000 for transition just to see, but we'll tweak that nearer the time anyway. The problem, Jack, the problem was for Cake Fridays is we only understood that we liked cake. David, nice. Did you do just the ILS into 1-1 or did you do the circling 1-9? Sorry, 2-9 approach at Curiosity? Most of our pre-flight already, to be fair. Dav1 Tokay, hello to you. Thank you very much. Great to hear that. Fair enough, though. It's quite scenic, isn't it, from what I've seen? Flying into the bowl of the mountains, Sarajevo in the middle. Jack. Maybe that's what he was getting at all along, and we should have realised that so that we would have passed physics. Maybe it was a test. We couldn't progress past Cake Fridays until we understood, because we never did. We had Cake Fridays for 2 years. Daniel, awesome. How are you finding it? How are you finding VATSIM now as well? Well, Adam, Sarajevo's one. To be fair, Pristina's one. Tivat is a really nice one as well. Skiathos, Mykonos. Samos is incredibly difficult. Really, really difficult. I'd like to try Samos in this, actually, the 900ER. I bet that's going to be... that'd be really hairy. What else is there? Split is a nice one. Innsbruck's a good one. There's loads. I'll have to work out what that is. Sevapi. Bergen's a nice approach. Yeah. Daniel, no, that's great. Start small. Get that confidence, and then you're chipping away at it, and you'll be smashing it in no time. Sounds like you're doing really well anyway, to be fair. Where else is good for approaches? Dubrovnik's very scenic, but not that difficult. Tivat, that's a good one. Where is it? Split's nice. Can't think where it is. Oh, where is it? Not Zada. Zada. Yeah, there's lots, to be fair. It depends whereabouts across Europe you want to fly. Gibraltar's difficult as well. But yeah, certainly a lot of the Greek islands are tough because of the layouts of the land and effectively how it's all set out with VOR approaches and NDB only approaches and that sort of thing. A couple of screenshots already onto Valanta for today. There's our route for Valanta as well. We are just south of Izmir at the moment. That's our routing up to Sarajevo. So the event hasn't yet started, but we'll have a little bit of ATC as we pass over the islands of Lesbos, Limnos, and then over Thessaloniki as well. Yeah, Madeira, that's a good one. Jurassic, that could be a messy one, couldn't it? Might have to handbrake turn it to get it stopped. Yeah, they're the best kind, Jeff, aren't they? Those VOR approaches and the NDB approaches as well, like Skiathos, where you fly to an NDB or a VOR on another island or somewhere near to the airport, and then it just spits you out and you've got to figure the rest out, or fly a DME ARC or whatever else. That always gets quite challenging, but it's really interesting as well. There's Izmir below. That's a fantastic view, look at that. My goodness. First flight ever out of Antalya, I think. I don't think we've flown out of Antalya before. I've certainly never flown into Sarajevo either, so gonna be interesting. Nabil, thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. And yeah, you're most welcome. Trying to do a little bit on our little corner of the community, at least. Audrey's asked, quick question, longitude. Keep getting hold failed message on takeoff. Am I activating auto throttle too early? Ooh. You know what? It's a question I don't know the answer to be honest. I don't fly the longitude, so hopefully somebody in the chat might know the answer to that actually, so interesting. Nausicaa, good evening to you in South Korea. Hello, hope you're well. Enjoying YouTube in Korea, very good.
Thanks for this charitable stream.
Calvi, Badger, that's a good idea as well. Flight Tampa Corfu, Adam, is wonderful. It's the whole island that's been created as part of the scenery. Really, really nice. A little bit heavy on performance though, to be honest, even by Flight Tampa's sort of standard. So it depends on what system you've got too. I've been to Antalya once in real life. Many, many, many years ago. And then I've done Aludini a couple of times as well. Flying into Dalaman. But only ever been to, I think, Turkey like 3 times in my life. That's Chios. Our favourite Greek island. Let's see if I can spot it using one of these views instead. Yeah, it's going to be... There's our favourite Greek island airport there, Samos. Right there. The best approach in flight sim, I think. Gotta be. So tough. Zotto's got a screenshot up. That looks like that's so us being overtaken, I think. Fabio says, I bought the 737-900 too, but the sound is too low for me. Is anyone else seeing that or hearing that too? You've got to bear in mind it's a little bit further away from those engines. So you're going to hear a little bit less of the engine noise. So even on departure for us today, we noticed it was a little bit quieter than, say, the 800. Certainly quieter than the 600 variant, because it is that little bit more stretched. Oh, Peter, no, that's not good. Good old-fashioned crash to desktop. Zato's overhead, apparently. Let's use Smooth Pan to find him. It's like being in a Turkish Airlines promo video, this. Oh my god, there he is. Got him. Oh my god. Owner, here's a question for you. Obviously, if you live in Antalya, not quite in the region affected by the earthquakes, but what's going on the ground for you guys who live in Turkey? Are you finding the government are being proactive? Are they helping, or are you pretty much are they finding that in the areas affected they're relying on charities from various parts of the world to kind of do their thing?
Zund Air 34 Papa Mike.
Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike, Sydney Unicom 1228, bye.
Athena radar, good afternoon, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, flight level 340 inbound Reso.
Hello, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, squawk 0047.
Squawk 0047, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo.
AGN 253 identified, climb flight level 100.
Flight 100,
AGN 976 for taxi, contact tower 118.625, Talem Telegon.
There's Zato.
LXC 118.625, right?
SA Center, good morning. Turkish 203 at flight level 360.
Turkish 203, hello, squawk 005.
Jurassic's asking, have they announced what the world update is after New Zealand? I'm not sure actually, to be honest.
Ryder 96 Sierra Victor, QNH1026.
I don't know, I've not really been following it. I know there was a development update the other day on the Asobo or MSFS official Twitch, but I didn't watch it, to be totally honest, so I'm not sure.
96 Sierra Victor, descent 3000, QNH1026.
1026 and descend 3000 feet, runner 696, I believe.
AGN 253, turn left, heading 100 degrees.
I think you're right, Zato.
AGN 119, descent flight level 110.
Yes, you're correct, yeah. Turkish Airlines A310. It's an AIG model. It's got FSLTL A320 Osprey, Osprey 762, and then everything else is AIG, darling.
Airbus 931, 17 miles north from Alpha Tango Victor, with you.
Hello, Airbus 931 identified. Turkish 1 Delta Romeo identified. Proceed direct Fox Sierra Kilo.
Proceed direct Foxtrot Sierra Kilo, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo.
AGN 253, climb flight level 150.
A little shortcut. Bye, Zato. See ya.
Climb flight level 150.
The island of Lesbos below, I think. Let me just double check. No, actually, it won't be Lesbos. It will be... Oh, it is Lesbos. Then Limnos is... that island over there, but no, we're now kind of skirting directly towards...
Turkish 203, proceed direct Fox Sierra Kilo identified.
Thessaloniki.
Sierra Kilo, Turkish 203.
Agent 253, I'm back. I accidentally changed frequency.
AGN 253, climb flight level 150. Say again your request.
Just I accidentally changed the frequency, so I'm pulling back straight.
Climb flight level 150.
Jackson, no worries, have a good one. Looking forward to Super Bowl tonight. wish I had loads of wings though.
Push and start approved facing east. Push and start approved facing east, Conrad 36 Delta.
Radar Kia 776, confirm Unicom.
I firm Kia 776 about to call you. 1228, bye.
Bye, 776.
Center 32, climb flight level 320. When passing 9,000, direct DMAC.
Level 320, when passing 9,000, direct DMAC. China 32.
Line at 96 Sierra Victor, turn left heading 130 degrees.
Left heading 130 and 96 Sierra Victor.
DN 109, descend 7,000, 1026, info Alpha.
Oh no, good stuff. That's what we're doing today, using the link in the live chat. Disaster Emergency Committee appeal for Turkey, Syria earthquake stuff. So that's 16 charities, I think it is. CAFOD, Save the Children, British Red Cross, to name a few others. Basically all pooling their resources in to help try and help in some way what's happened.
Direct Excel for agency working.
They're also, the Rapid Response Network is also formed as part of British Airways helps support them too, which is good. DSA member charities Action Against Hunger, Action Aid, British Red Cross, Age International, CAFOD, which is the Catholic Agency for Overseas Development, CARE, Christian Aid, Concern Worldwide, the International Rescue Committee, they're playing a key role in Turkey and Syria at the moment, Islamic Relief, Oxfam, Plan International, Save the Children, Tear Fund and World Vision. So all the donations that the Disasters Emergency Committee gets via the link in the live chat get distributed to those different charities, all doing various bits of work in in the areas that have been affected effectively, basically. And it's a good way of making sure the money gets to the right places and not to corrupt governments. Andrew, interesting. So the A310 is the only Airbus you enjoy flying. I suppose because it's a little bit more hands-on, isn't it?
Ryanair 96 Sierra Victor, left heading 070, clear tail 03 right.
Can you say again heading, please?
96 Sierra Victor heading
Bets, hello buddy, welcome.
070 and clear LS 03.
Andrew's wondering when they're going to do a world update for South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines. All very beautiful countries in real life. That would be quite good actually, to be honest. South Korea would be a good one to have in a world update, that would be quite nice.
On deck 96 if possible, christening final level 110.
Deck 96 order, stop climb 110.
Stop climb 110 on deck 96, thank you.
No worries, Fets. It's going to be a late night though, isn't it, tonight, so...
Runway 42 Romeo up and solo identified, expect RNP Zulu, runway 34 in Thessaloniki.
Expecting RNP Zulu for runway 34 Thessaloniki, you in Futomio.
TN 119, descend 3000.
Down 3000, 119.
Yeah, I'm not really sure to be honest, Bets. I'm a Patriots fan. I think I'm rooting for the Eagles. I just can't stand Patrick Mahomes. Well, I like Andy Reid, but I'm not a fan of Andy Reid, if that makes sense either, with the Chiefs. I think it's going to be quite a tough, very close Super Bowl this year. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to try and watch a little bit of it. Ideally all of it, but it may not. I might not watch it all.
We had some internet connection issues, so we are back.
That tiny little island there is Aegeus Efstratios.
Thank you.
Olympic 96, expect runway 31 in past the horizon.
And then this is Limnos.
Just before Excella.
Expecting runway 31 and will report ready to cancel IFR Olympic 96.
Istanbul is, will basically draw a straight line from that wingtip over that way. Istanbul's on the horizon.
36 Delta, request taxi.
Quite a few miles away though.
36 Delta, Juliet Alpha, line up runway 24.
Juliet Alpha, line up runway 24, Condor 36 Delta.
Yeah, I think the balance for me tips to supporting the Eagles tonight, Vets, to be honest. Especially their comeback as well. They had a horrendous.
Yes, go ahead.
They had a pretty horrendous sort of comeback, didn't they, into Carlos Wentz and stuff. So for them this year to kind of explode into the success, I think they've done quite well. So I tend to sort of root for the underdog slightly if it's not the Patriots playing. Although if the Patriots were playing nowadays, they probably would be. They probably would be the underdogs, wouldn't they?
Turkish radar, good afternoon. Osprey 762 at flight level 340 inbound for Sarajevo.
6.
Osprey 762 Athens squawk 0046.
0046.
There's Limnos Airport. Not flown there before, actually, to be fair. Jeju's meant to be incredible. Start to have a good one.
Hello, 250 identified, climb flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190, 250.
Ryanair 96 Sierra Victor, contact tower 118.625, bye.
Ryanair 96 Sierra Victor, ILS established 03 right.
Confirm, sir, contact 118.625, the tower.
118.625, bye.
Shaquille, good morning. In terms of the way that they've made the comeback from the last couple of years, a fairly poor performance, I mean, Shaquille.
Direct to Sydney, GM250.
Osprey 762, identified, proceed direct, Foxtrot, Sierra Kilo.
Osprey 762, proceed to Foxtrot, Sierra Kilo.
Olympic 951, Kalispera identified, descent flight level 240,
Andrew, thanks, buddy.
RNP Zulu, runway 34.
We've got to try and keep it spicy, don't we? It keeps us on our toes, flying somewhere. A, remote, B, random at times, C, difficult as well. So. Yeah, Kermit the Frog, yeah, absolutely. The only thing that entertains me with Mahomes, to be honest. Did you see the media thing the other week where he got absolutely mugged off?
Hello, Turkish 2472, squawk 0041.
He got absolutely destroyed, didn't he? There was a reporter that basically said, I think it was a comment about Beyonce or something like that, or no, Rihanna, saying that she's her favourite, Mahomes is her favourite or something like that, and he properly bought it. I don't think he was even that humble about it. I think he was kind of trying to, yeah, it's funny, it was hilarious to watch, because the reporter then said he was joking. He just looked completely destroyed by it. Center tanks are empty, so master caution for fuel.
Intermediate fix for RNP Zulu, runway 34, no, it's for shortcut. Otherwise you can proceed as...
Huge Eagles fan, Shaquille. Nice. Yeah, you've had a couple of tough years, haven't you, to be fair, so... yeah, the Eagles have done incredibly well to get to the Super Bowl this year. It's going to be a really good game. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a great Super Bowl.
0976 Kalispera identified, climb flight level 170.
Absolutely. We visit the landing strips no other man would. Usually with the occasional call loss, at least one of us crashes every month.
Tower 118625, Calipros VSC, Istas Athena.
Over the tower 118625, 19 ευχαριστούμε πολύ, τα λέμε σε λίγο.
Isn't Jeju one of the most dangerous parts of South Korea, actually, thinking about it, Andrew? It's got the highest crime rate for murders or something like that in all of South Korea. Is that the island of Jeju? Oh, well, that's popped into my head.
36 Delta, 240 degrees, 7 knots, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 24, Conor 36 Delta.
Alpine 5301, thank you. High speed approved, descent flight level 110.
Oh, Shaquille, yeah, likewise. Really, really enjoying it. It's I love the 800. The 800 is incredibly good. It's a really firm favourite of mine. With this one, I find that I'm incredibly conscious of the extra little bit of length, that extra few meters. So I find on rotation, I'm staring at the primary flight display, trying to get that perfect pitch, and then letting it sort of climb away before going into proper climb pitch, about sort of 50, 100 feet above the ground, roughly. So it requires this little, slightly different technique, doesn't it, to both flare and take off. And like I said, it's especially challenging on landing, especially flying a little bit quicker too in a 737. Just generally, you've got to get your speed right. My first landing in the 737-900 from the other day wasn't the best. Determined to do slightly better this time. We had a good rating last time though, but the actual execution of the approach wasn't the best.
Condor 36 Delta identified, VSC, climb flight level 180.
I set climb level 180, Conor 16 Delta. Correction, 36 Delta.
Let's go max 78 for a bit.
Proceed direct AVV, climb flight level 380.
Direct AVV and 380, 917.
Olympic 96, ready for descent.
Olympic 96, descent flight level 980.
So I think we're going to have a little element of Unicom.
Condor 36 Delta, proceed now direct Kopar.
Direct to Kopar, Condor 36 Delta.
It's very finite, isn't it, Shaquille? Progress page.
Olympic 951, turn right, heading 190 degrees.
Right, 190 degrees, Olympic 951.
Fair, if I go back to Max 77, it might mean that we have a little bit more ATC for a while.
Thank you for your patience. Clear destination Gibraltar, runway 27, Ultrix 3 Charlie, climb flight level 100, squawk 2061.
Oh no, it's called the Lucator. I'll type it into the live chat. It's freeware, and you can download it on flightsim.to or their website lukeairtour.net.
Wings 42 Romeo, descent flight level 120.
Descent level 120, wings 42 Romeo.
Awesome, said, good evening, this is Jordania 301.
Jordania 301, Kalispera, identified.
Hey Callum, awesome, how are you finding them? Smashing out the tests for new members on VATSIM?
Direct Rodos, flight level 320.
All fairly self-explanatory, I hope.
Lucy Varix, 3 Charlie 03 δεξιός, Jordan 301.
Olympic 96, ready to cancel IFR.
Avix bullets, standby. What altitudes do you want? I'll throw a few out there, providing, I assume you're on live weather, right?
Continue visually to Castellars, runway 31 and number 2, Olympic 96.
To be fair, you can just copy the ones I've put in.
Estimated QNH 1022.
There you go.
1022, Olympic 96, thanks.
From Alpha, QNH 1022.
I firm Magenta 53, QNH runway 22, and also estimated wind 250 degrees.
We've already put the QNH in the transition level as an estimate, 1,000 above the transition altitude. They might change based on what we get for ATC when we arrive, or get a bit closer towards Sarajevo.
7,000 feet, QNH 1027.
Descent 7,000,
Awesome.
QNH 1027, gravity.
Olympic 951, descent 6,000, QNH Thessaloniki 1028.
Not flown into any of the Greek islands for a while, have we?
QNH Thessaloniki 1028, Olympic 951.
Athena radar, good evening, Aegean 4191, information Delta, gate 4 at Thessaloniki, request IFR clearance to Kalamata.
A couple of people doing little hops as well in across the Greece, which is nice.
Able to depart runway 28.
May firm, we are able for runway 28, Aegean 4191.
Aegean 4191, thank you. Clear to Kalamata, runway 28, Lekpo 1 Echo departure, climb flight level 80, squawk 6755.
Aegean 4191, cleared Kalamata, Lekpo 1 Echo, out of runway 28.
Some of the best controllers you get on VATSIM are Athens radar.
6755.
Greek controllers. They end up controlling the whole of Greek airspace, but also end up sort of controlling a lot of the islands as well, Mykonos, Skiathos, Samos. So they're controlling traffic into and out of those, as well as the bigger airports like Thessaloniki and Athens if they haven't got ATC online at those. They handle Corfu, they handle Crete, Rhodes, Skiathos, what else? Yeah, all of the islands, to be honest. Santorini, Naxos, wherever you're flying, they can give you ATC pretty much, but they are very knowledgeable, very good, but very accommodating as well.
Bye sir, thank you for the service.
Bye. Condor 36 Delta, climb flight level 300.
Flight level 300, Condor 36 Delta.
Oh, Callum. RTFQ comes to mind.
Controller low, Turkish 1845, flight level 340.
Turkish 1845, hello, Athens identified. Proceed direct Oakfield, arrival Oakfield 1 Charlie, runway 03 right.
Ah, Callum, you're most welcome. You know, if you're finding it really enjoyable now and you're getting that extra little bit of immersion from your flight sim experience, and you're kind of learning stuff as you go as well, that is the whole reason behind it.
November 985 Echo Kilo.
November 985 Echo Kilo, go ahead.
November 985 Echo Kilo, are you able for the RNP approach runway 27?
Affirm, November 985 Echo Kilo.
November Echo Kilo, perfect. Arrival for the time being, Babas 1 Alpha, RNP runway.
Sometimes it helps just to listen to like this, like the en route controllers.
November 985 Echo Kilo, Babas 1 Alpha arrival, and
there's an aeroplane there going right to left, opposite direction.
Ready to descend.
That is
Olympic 951, turn right heading 240 degrees.
GVY 9989 737-800.
Zero wings 40, Romeo, descent flight level 80.
Descent for level 80.
Oh, Dusty, very nice. How about a very short hop?
Gravity 9989, turn
something like Tirana to Sarajevo. You can join us.
Left 180 and descent 3000.
Or Sofia to Sarajevo.
Agenda 53, backtrack vacate first left to the apron.
I have no idea what the guy said in response. Doesn't make any sense.
Final 2105 Athens, hello, identified.
Thessaloniki's down. In fact, is that Thessaloniki?
okay, Charlie arrival, running 205.
Thessaloniki's down there somewhere.
951, descent altitude 3,500.
Lots of cloud coming in now.
3,500.
1811 requesting 3 minutes out of cockpit.
Approved to GN11.
Should be handed off in a moment as well. Gravity.
36 Delta, Paul C, direct Foxtrot, Sierra Kilo, climb flight level 360.
Oh, Vets, gotcha.
Foxtrot, Sierra Kilo, flight level 360, Condor 36 Delta.
Alpine 5301, cleared RMP runway 27. Let me know if you need extra track miles.
Callum, you want to have a look at asking how do you get to see other aeroplanes in VATSIM? You want to look at model matching solutions like FSLTL.
Olympic 96, runway 31, clear to land.
80's up for Sarajevo, epic. I've just pinged them a message saying I'm overhead Thessaloniki and we're on our way. So LQSA. VATSIMators. There we go. Information Alpha 290 at 2 knots, scattered cloud 2,500, broken 4,000. It's a very narrow spread, 3 degrees Celsius, dew point 2, so we can expect funky weather, maybe a decreasing visibility. Flight level 110 for the transition, so we guessed that pretty well. Expect ILS, Yankee approach, arrivals 11. They're going to see if they can get us in at on the circling approach. Thessaloniki's up there somewhere apparently. It's probably here somewhere, isn't it? There's possibly what that looks like the terminal actually, so that could be Thessaloniki there. Mike Oliver, welcome, welcome.
PGN 4194, push and start approved, facing east, QNH 1028.
Turkish 1845, descent light level 180.
1804. Run at 105, is there any chance I can try and get into Athens a little bit earlier?
Gravity 9989, turn left heading 120 please.
Left 120.
Hayden, hello buddy. Thanks very much, great to hear. Yeah, I think it does. I think it's helped a lot of people. I was quite keen to improve the original VATSIM tutorials that we created weren't the best. I think I've learnt quite a bit since in relation to video editing and a few of the little tips and tricks on VATSIM. So I figured if we start again with a whole new series, best way to explain it, isn't it? And try and get people involved on the network a little bit better too.
Gravity 9989, turn left heading 070, cleared ILS Zulu 03 guide.
Left 070, cleared ILS Zulu 03 right, 70.
Air wings 42 Romeo, VNAF nu, cleared RMP Zulu runway 34.
VNAF nu, cleared RMP Zulu runway 34, Ewing for Dominion.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, contact Adria 130.0. Bye-bye.
Contact Adria 130.0, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, thanks. They're online. Adria radar, good afternoon. Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, flight level 340 overhead, inbound Foxtrot Sierra Kilo.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, Adria radar, you are identified.
The event begins. A little bit early actually, 20 minutes early. That's great. They've connected already.
Gold Delta Kilo 6, Adria radar identified.
Doing very well, thanks Hayden. Lots going on.
Gold Delta Kilo 6, descent to level 120 for now.
Alpha Sierra 6.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, expect Kilo Echo Bravo 1 Tango arrival, ILS X-ray runway 11.
But Kilo Echo Bravo 1 Tango arrival, ILS X-ray 11 for Turkish 1 Delta Romeo. Go with what we're given. Special ILS X-ray. Oh my goodness, that looks tough. So most people I think are going to get the ILS Yankee. I don't know. Hopefully we all end up getting the same one because this is interesting. So it's just yeah, we pinned that. So we were expecting this nice ILS Yankee through Timid on an 18 DME arc and then inbound from Rivers for the ILS. We've now got this, which is very similar, but the missed approach is more complex. A little bit tighter. I think the altitude's the same for Rivers and stuff as well. There's a hold at Timid. If we get put in the holds, folks, there's one at Timid there. That's at the Sarajevo VOR at Keb. So we could probably think about tuning some of this now already. I'm not sure if we're going to be given the circling approach 29 or not. We'll find out. We'll find out from probably the approach controller at Sarajevo or the tower controller perhaps. The way it works, because of the terrain, you can see here lots of terrain around. They don't depart 1-1 very often. It's pretty much all the time departures on 29 heading the opposite direction to the arrivals and up and out in that bowl because it's just surrounded by all that terrain. So we might need to just tweak the data slightly here in our FMS.
Golf Delta Kilo 6, contact pool radar 1 decimal 6, bye bye.
1 to 4 decimal 6.
Lufthansa 6.
That's a bit better. And we can also extend the centre line too, so...
You're still on my... 1 to 4 decimal 6, bye bye.
113. Got that extended centre line. Proceed direct Timid to Turkish 1 Delta Romeo. Wow, that's a massive shortcut. Zoom. Approach data wise, we're looking at category C 1865 for minimums, which is at 222 above the ground. So do I be lazy? We'll tune 1865. We've got the time to spin and get RSI. Spin the wheel. RVR for full approach lighting is 550 meters. It's a 3.2 degrees descent path angle as well. The ILS approach, tiny little bit steeper than usual. Usually it's about 3.2 is a tiny bit more. 865 is what we want. On 865. What's Fast Airplane Toolbox saying? Flap 30. Landing landing weight of 68.4. So it's 150 knots of approach speed, add in the 5 to that there. 1107. 1107. 1107. In the multi-mode radios, the VORs, Sarajevo, 116.7.
Radar could take in contact 6.
167. I might actually.
Delta Kilo 6, go ahead.
The Pula radar does not responding.
Pula radar is online. Just need to give him a minute or two. He just connected, so return to.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll look at tuning in the Sarajevo NDB just for a backup as well. That's 405. It's always good to have a few options in the back pocket just in case. So VORs are tuned, so we've got the ILS on the right hand side as well, but we just need to flip those across. We'll pop the course in, it's 113 for both nav 1 and 2. And then up here 1700 is set in the pressure panel, that's good, so that we don't need to worry about
radar,
that.
good evening, Speedbird 56 Golf Hotel, flight level 350 inbound to Saudi.
Speedbird 56 Golf Hotel, VATAdria.
Carlita, hello buddy, welcome. Jack says, forgot to mention, alongside my quantum physics, I've started my dissertation module. I think I'm basing it on the thermal properties of astrophysical jets. I haven't worked out the details. What's an astrophysical jet? El Solo in Serbia, welcome. And Rack, hello. Keep smashing the like button, folks, as well if you're enjoying today. And if you're looking for flights on VATSIM that include events like this one with VATAdria, all you need to do is have a look on the events page of the VATSIM website, and it's literally my.vatsim.net/events, and it allows you to then look at the events calendar globally. Well, hello buddy. Palito, very kind. I hope you're well. Good morning, good afternoon. Top descent in about 110 nautical miles. So we're briefed pretty much. One thing that's probably worth pointing out is the little plan that I've got written down on my notepad actually. How can I display this? I wonder if ChartFox has got.
Visit the exact descent flight level 210.
I'm going to check ChartFox for Sarajevo stuff, because then I can draw on it using Edge. So LQSA. Boom. Got a link to their official charts though. Aerodromes, Sarajevo. Charts relating to an aerodrome. So, window capture. If you guys don't have things like Navigraph, then you can use something like ChartFox, and if it doesn't have the option of the charts in it, usually it gives you a link that takes you to their actual nationals AIP. You have to then scroll through all of this stuff to find charts related to an aerodrome, something similar to that, and then it gives you all of this as an option. So, what do I want? Bosnia 1 Tango. Well, no, actually.
Good day, Condor 450, on flight level 320, descent flight level 2,
Special ILS X-ray PDF, here we go. So this is the official chart for the ILS X-ray, the non-Jefferson format. So it talks to us about the holds at Timid, a couple of the VORs, gives us a big arc around here as well, 7.5 DME from KISS, and then the descent path as well. Where's my pen on this version of Microsoft Edge? Draw, here we go. So let's go for, yeah, maybe blue will stand out actually, to be fair. Do a slightly thicker line. So we're flying the approach. Oh my goodness.
Good afternoon, Hotel 8 Mike Sierra, maintain for the letter 60 direct to Wales.
So we're flying the approach from Rivers here, and we're going to fly the ILS approach towards runway 11. Now this is conditional on the basis that we are going to be flying the circling approach. So initially we're going to be approaching runway 11 on the ILS X-ray. Now this is pretty much what I've drawn. When we get to 2.8 DME, which is about here, we're going to turn northbound 070 degrees. Hopefully you guys can see this. And we're going to time for 20 seconds. When we hit 20 seconds, we're then going to turn the downwind leg. And we're going to be at 3,000 feet. If we fly the ILS approach for 11, this doesn't apply. This is only for the circling approach. It's a bit of a brief, in case you guys get it issued to you as well, of course. So 3,000 feet, and then we're going to look for the end of the runway here. Once we become a beam that, which is about here, we look right and we can see that we are literally at the edge of the runway, or runway 29. We will then begin another timer. We'll begin to count for about 17 to 20 seconds. At that point, bearing in mind we're only 1,300 feet above ground level at that point, or in this instance, this little bit of terrain here that we'll be passing, we're only 1,000 feet above it, so we might get some terrain warnings. We'll have to cancel GPWS. Once we get to that 20-second point, we're going to be around about here somewhere. We'll start a descending turn to final, similar to that in Innsbruck, for that circling approach. So it's not charted, there's no charts for it, it's just a standard procedure for these. So that's pretty much what we're going to do if we get told we can do the circling approach. We'll fly the ILS initially, 11. At 2.8 DME, we'll call it 3 DME. 3 nautical miles. We'll break off 070 degrees, 20 seconds, then we're going to turn 3,000 feet, we'll be turning to fly 113 degrees or 110 degrees, and we'll be turning then after a couple of seconds, extending that downwind 17 to 20 seconds beyond we cross that sort of point of the threshold, 20 seconds, then turning onto final descending turn. If we get the ILS approach, then it doesn't matter, because we'll just fly the ILS, which is that. There we got the taxi charts. Parking stands, there we are. Stands 1 to 7 at Sarajevo. MXI designs payware airport scenery for this, but don't waste money buying it. I don't. It's particularly great, to be totally honest with you guys. It's probably not too dissimilar to the freeware. Just the default Sobo, to be honest, is good enough for Sarajevo. We can unpin that now because we've got the ILS X-ray.
Direct Tango India 05 with 3XX.
And Visa 3 X-ray, echo descent to flight level 130.
So what we're doing there is just neatening up my Navigraph charts, so all my pins coming up are all nicely laid out. Less work for basically after landing. Timid at or above flight level, 6,500. Change that like that. Make it rerun the numbers. 80 miles to top of descent now. We want auto brake 3. Now VAS airplane toolbox doesn't want to work. But yeah, auto brake 3 was the last calculation that we had.
Condor 45 radar 124.6, bye-bye.
124.6, thank you for 737-900ER, sir.
Have I ever flown the Cirrus Vision jet? No, I haven't actually, to be honest. I've flown the H jet, the Flight FX H jet, that's pretty good.
We have speed of 0.7.
11825 for tower. Ah, Dusty, fair enough.
Identified. Descent initially flight level 310.
Descent 310, Lufthansa 6 Hotel Romeo.
Lots of prep for this approach. We're kind of preparing for two approaches. We're looking at doing the ILS, but we're prepping for that circling approach just in case.
Continue descent.
And that way we're ready for everything. We're pre-tuning. I'm pre-tuning Sarajevo Tower on at the minute as well, 11825. I'm assuming that we're not going to get an approach director on. We've got Sarajevo Tower and ground online. The Cape 5 Bravo is mandatory, it says. We're going to get a nice arrival in Sarajevo, I think.
Welcome back.
Lazarus, no. Well, to be honest, I haven't got FS traffic. I'm still using AIG and FSLTL. But you might need to have a little look at FS traffic's EMR files. Shaquille, which one? The one that's on now is Summer Feelings by Onda Norte. The one before that, I think that was Don't Go by Hallman. Classic.
Stand by. Let me just coordinate that with the controller.
VATSIM's favourite tune.
Agent 5482 with you at...
It is, isn't it, Automator? It's night and day, isn't it, in comparison?
5482 to VATAdria identified.
Where are we? We're going to be up still, there we go.
531 runway news is 143.
There we go. Sort out the drone camera again.
110340.
Adria, dobar dan. Lufthansa 8 Lima Juliet, level 350 inbound, Kusip.
That.
Lufthansa 8 Lima Juliet, dobar dan i vama, Adria Radar identified.
Adria Radar, hello, Agent 110340.
Agent 11, dobar dan, Adria Radar identified.
Automator, yeah, I did see it had been updated actually, to be honest. There you go, for a window view. Well, that one's going to be a good one actually, the sun just below the wing. Evening, Ian, hope you're well, buddy.
Okay, yeah, just flashed up here, okay, thanks.
Yeah, it doesn't go immediately, you need to wait like a couple of seconds maybe.
Okay, learned something new today, thank you.
No worries, fine.
Ooh, the heck. That was a vicious weather change, look. Just monitor that for a moment. All good, Ian. Slight bit of night shift brain fog that we're contending with, but otherwise fine.
811, are we detected?
Eugene 11, say again. Vision 3 X-ray Echo, descend to 7,000 feet, Tirana
So, all snow cap down there, look at that.
Information Bravo.
Descend 7000, QNH 1027, back on board with 3 X-ray Echo.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, descend to flight level 220.
Descend flight level 220, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo. So, a little bit before top of descent, but that is fine. So we'll just tell the aeroplane we're descending now. We could leave it on VNAV path.
Transavia 6263, Dobrodan, set squawk 5275.
Although it's now telling us drag is required, which is interesting.
Are we identified for Asian 11?
Asian 11, yes, you are identified.
10,000, oh sorry, 1,000 foot per minute. I think we'll keep going to 15
to contact Adria radar 130.550, bye-bye.
or 16.
Contact Adria radar, can you repeat the frequency, please?
Okay, descent time.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we are descending, make sure that your hand luggage is stowed in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. Please fasten your seatbelt, put your seat back upright.
Great view, isn't it? Perfect time. We're in live time and live weather.
And stow your footrest.
The only thing that worries me is we might be flying into Sarajevo in the darkness.
Electronic devices which do not have flight mode feature must be turned off. All electronic devices must be disconnected
As
from
contrails, another aeroplane flying the opposite direction.
Thank you.
That is...
Yolcularımız, iniş için el bagajınızın başüstü dolabına veya önünüzdeki koltuğun altına yerleştirilmiş olduğunu kontrol ediniz.
I think that's Alpaca 784 Charlie. 737-900 off to Tel Aviv.
Güneşliğinizi
Oh,
açık
actually,
duruma getiriniz ve ayak desteğinizi yerine
yeah, I'm going to say it's
yerleştiriniz.
them.
Elektronik cihazlarınızın uçuş modunda olduğunu kontrol ediniz. Uçuş modu özelliği bulunmayan elektronik
Avic says terrain radar isn't up.
kalkış esnasında tüm elektronik
That's going to be
cihazların
interesting, especially in
koltuk
cloud.
güç ünitesinden çıkarılarak emniyete alınması
We might end up having to
gerekmektedir.
inhibit some of our ground proximity warning systems, to be honest, especially if we have a circling approach.
Ladies and gentlemen, please ensure that your personal screen and handset are stored properly. Thank you.
I think we need to increase our speed as well, because we've gone into speed intervention mode a little bit.
Kumandanızın yerine yerleştirilmiş olduğundan emin olunuz. Teşekkür ederiz.
Getting distracted by the views. Look at that. Contrails ripping across the sky.
Vision 3 X-ray Echo, continue descent to 4,000 feet. Clear VR, DME approach Charlie 353, report on final check.
Bo, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good weekend. That's a little screenshot there. I've put that onto Volanta as well. Screenshots will all go into Discord at the end of the flight too.
Last station calling, say again.
6 Hotel Romeo, requesting descent. We are below profile. Above profile.
Lufthansa 6 Hotel Romeo, descent to flight level 200.
And level 200, 6 Hotel Romeo.
$200. We got on the range ringers. That's 80. Probably come off that and go to 280 knots, 1400 foot per minute. Ease off on the rate of descent. None yet, rack. There's one being developed, a payware one by Bluebird Simulation. That's what we're all waiting for. Latest Q and H, we need to put that in as well. QSA. It's 1033. So that's all of our approach preparation complete now. BREF, we'll add the 550. Barrow 1865 for our minimums, and 1033. We've got auto brake 3 set. We'll be using reverse thrust, and our landing elevation panel is set as well. We could do a little master caution reset. We've got to send the tanks off because they're pretty much empty. 0.03 tons of fuel on board.
And students, be afraid to the top of the instruction was ready or descend now.
You are to descend now because I need to hand you over to the next controller. Also, it's Petak 2 November arrival VR 235.
Okay, we expect the VR 35 2 November arrival. We descend now for level 2, the freighter.
Windmill 5 Papa Lima, contact Adria Radar 130.550, bye-bye.
Literally chasing the sun.
130.550, thank you, bye-bye, Windmill 5 Papa Lima.
That.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, continue descent to 9,000 feet. Information Bravo QNH 1033, level by timid.
Continue descent 9,000 feet, QNH 1033, information Bravo, and level timid, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo. What have we got? 9,000 level timid, wasn't it? So if we execute that, we could in theory now go to VNAV again, but it's going to continue to reduce our speed, so let's just leave it in vertical speed mode.
Monitor Unicorn Lufthansa 682, thank you, goodbye.
That's fine.
Goodbye, have a nice flight.
There we are. Feet are nice. Keep smashing the likes, folks, if you're enjoying today. Again, as a reminder, the pin message, if you wish to donate to the Disasters Emergency Committee's appeal for the Turkey-Syria earthquakes, help the charities on the ground with all of those affected in that area of the world, then just click the link there and you can donate via the DEC's official website. Pat, hello buddy. You need to monitor the live streams channel, Mats, in Discord.
Lufthansa 6 Hotel Romeo, contact pool radar 124.6. Bye bye.
24.6 6 Hotel Romeo, ciao.
Low at flight level 360, so let's go.
Turkish 9er Papa Delta, Delta Adria identified. Turkish 6 Kilo Foxtrot Adria Radar identified.
PMDG 737-900ER, and this Turkish Airlines livery as well is the one included in the operations centre when you purchase and download the aircraft as well. You can get this on pmdg.com/MSFS. That's a good question, Larson. It's whenever you feel like it's pertinent to do so. A lot of the time, if you're climbing, you want TCAS in above mode. If you're descending, you want TCAS in descent mode. So it's looking above, not below, sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Austrian 8 Mike Sierra Adria Radar.
Leave it at 9,000. Let's increase that rate of descent a little bit. So there's the VOR. If I aim for that at the banana roughly, we'll just let it stabilise itself. Oh, Jacket's great fun. Really tough though. You've got to be really careful and smooth on rotate and flare, just to kind of prevent that tail strike. But it's really good fun. It adds another bit of difficult dynamic to the aircraft too. Yeah, certainly really interesting.
Turkish 6 Kilo Foxtrot requires out of cockpit for 15 minutes.
That would be approved, but you need to descend to flight level 350 first for your direction of flight.
Descend to flight level 350, Turkish 6 Kilo Foxtrot.
Who is it, CX Echo final track radar?
I think the 777 Jack won't be available until probably summer. Beyond that, I'm not sure. They've not really said even a sort of date which they're aiming for at the moment. So it's going to be a little. That's good to do that as well, Jack. So who we got flying along behind us? We've got Avix Bullet, Peter and Badger are ahead of us offline. We've got Ian as well, Turkish 2472, FBS 402 as well, and Osprey 762. So we've got 3 aircraft flying in. Oh, nice manageable amount of traffic for us actually. Started off with another with Bakazato as well. We ended up having to disconnect. Hopefully everything's okay for him. We want to have a little bit of space where we can decelerate. We need to be level timid at 9,000.
Bosna November arrival, ILS Yankee or X-ray 11?
Is there anything you would prefer?
Native says expect ILS Yankee approach, so yeah.
That's a lack of our coordination. It will be ILS X-ray.
Roger, ILS X-ray.
Oh, Akari, there we go, thank you. Oh, Tim Sims just turning final, nice.
For Lufthansa 8 Madrid.
Thankfully you'll be landing after me then. And we can roll the trucks. Get the trucks out. I have to wake the water ferries up first. Now here's a question for you. That sun goes down. Do we keep the live time active, or do we wind the time back a little bit so we can see the scenery flying in?
Turkish 2472, Kilo Echo Bravo 1, Tango arrival, ILS X-ray runway 11, descent flight level 200.
Descent flight level 220, cleared for the Cable 1 Tango arrival and for ILS X-ray for runway 11, Turkish 2472.
Turkish 2472, just confirm Kilo Echo Bravo 1 Tango arrival.
Kilo Echo 1 Tango arrival for Turkish 2472.
Osprey 762, what is your Mach number?
Mach number is 780, Osprey 762.
Osprey 762, reduce Mach 70.
Mach 70.
Ian, I think you're right.
Osprey 762 for separation heading 350.
We could just extend the sunset, couldn't we? And kind of have it aim to land at this sort of twilight hour. Because obviously as we're descending, we're kind of going into the darkness as well. So you can't change the time of day there. VATSIM says, not been here before, great approach, that sounds good. I've not flown into Sarajevo myself before either, so looking forward to it. Okay, so we'll wind it to 1600 UTC, so we go back 15 minutes. How about that? Apex. Brilliant. K Callum, no, it's Volanta, which is powered by Orbex. So Timid's there. We've been asked to be 9,000 level Timid, but we need to decelerate as well. So we're kind of bearing that in mind at the same time. Don't want to decelerate too early because we've got aircraft flying behind us. Kind of need to take that into consideration as well.
And radar, good evening, it's Monarch 578 with you, flight level 330 inbound to Bursa.
I think I might aim for 220 knots at Timid.
Monarch 578, good evening, identified.
Roy, so ages ago, this is going back 2 years in fairness, we were using SimToolkit Pro religiously. Then they had this mega memory leak which lasted over a month, and it got to the point where I just didn't want to use it anymore. And in that time, Volanta got released, so we ended up just making the switch. I haven't really considered going back since, to be honest. Larson. Not sure. They must do.
Welcome to Tirana Taxi Standard Choice.
Mark, good morning to you.
Standard Choice, thank you very much. Bye-bye with 368.
How's the flight? Bring that speed down. A little bit of cloud surfing here just before we tickle 10,000 feet.
Thank you very much. Have a nice Sunday. 125 ahead of Lufthansa 1 takeoff. Turkish 2472, descend to 9,000 feet level by Timid, Sarajevo, QNH 103 for information, Bravo.
Ooh. Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Bravo, QNH 1033, level 9,000 feet by Tibet for Turkish 2472. Osprey 762, descend to flight level 120.
Descend to flight level 1. Wait, can you repeat the flight number, please?
Osprey 762, descend to flight level 120.
120, Osprey 760.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, via arrival, descent to 5,400 feet. Clear for approach, report established.
He said 5,400 feet for by approach, and cleared approach when established for Turkish 1 Delta Romeo.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, correct. Via arrival, descent to 5,400 feet. Report established.
Okay, by arrival, descend 5,400 feet. Report established for Turkish 1 Delta Romeo. It was actually almost night and day. One call all night, Mark. It looks like we're just going to get the ILS. No circling approach.
Level 370.
Two stations speaking at the same time. Ryanair 377 VATAdria radar identified.
Just and dark, so can Sun Express to Charlie contact our team center?
Sun Express to Charlie, you're out of my airspace. Continue with Athena.
Oh Roy, I've got a vast selection of other ones that are active, to be honest.
Adria radar, good afternoon. Austrian Dynamic Alpha with you in Bangkok, climbing to level 335 or level 350.
Austrian Dynamic Alpha, the Berdan identified, Adria.
Get rid of the music for now. Focus on the arrival. I don't mind the ILS, Jack. Means we can enjoy the scenery a little bit more.
Lufthansa 8 Lima Juliet, descent flight level 200.
Descent level 200, Lufthansa 8 Lima Juliet.
Let's go down to our minimum speed there, 210. Let's flick across as well, so we get ILS both active, 1 and 2, 110.7, we checked the data one last time, 107, and the course of 113 on both nav 1 and 2, that's looking good. 145. There we go, add the 5 is 150, and we're on local pressure now as well. Do 700 foot per minute in the descent. There we go. We'll get the control visualizer fired up as well in a moment so you guys can see any control inputs that we're making on arrival on that approach. This is really scenic, isn't it? Very hilly as well. Got terrain coming up to kind of almost meet us. Sarajevo's in this little bowl of mountains, right on the bottom of the bowl effectively. Easiest way I can explain it. Viper's racing, I'm not sure to be honest, it all depends on what's happening with your rig and the system spec you've got, and whether you've got anything that might be causing a memory leak. There's lots of variables that could be causing a problem effectively.
Croatia 255, prepared departure passing 3,300.
Croatia 255, VATAdria radar identified, heading 360, climb to 6,000.
Heading 360, climb to 2,000.
Climb to 6,000.
Climb to 6,000.
Right, so let's get the visualizer up. There we are. Iglet, hello. Been working through your 737 series because I just got back into simming and it's been amazing. Really appreciate the resource and loving the live streams. That's great to hear. How are you finding it all as well? Are you enjoying the 737? It's a lot more hands-on, isn't it? I find it generally is a little bit more rewarding than flying an Airbus. This is incredible.
Osprey 762, left heading 250.
Really nice. Bring the range ring in. 600 feet per minute as well.
Turkish 2472, what is your indicated airspeed?
Go flap 2 for now.
Indicated airspeed of 0.523, 256 knots.
Reduce 210 knots.
210 knots. Requesting 5 minutes out of cockpit.
Agent 11, you need to listen to the frequency. You were blocking it now. Approved. Report back.
Thanks.
We're expecting a left turn in a moment, and it's kind of going to take us. Oops, my goodness. It's going to take us. Where are we going?
Croatia 255, confirm maintaining 6,000, heading 360.
Kind of through this valley, actually, round and then into that bowl. Sarajevo's just in there somewhere. So 16 DME TEB.
Adria radar, Zund Air3 for Papa Mike. Should I change to Unicom?
Center 2 for Papa Mike, continue Unicom, want to take away.
11825, that's preset for tower. And then we got ground, 1219.
Croatia 255, you're still climbing. I need you to maintain 6,000 for separation with arriving traffic.
Roger, sorry, I'm descending to 6,000.
Trying to keep the speed up a little bit here to help the folks flying in behind us as well.
3,000 feet.
Look at that.
And Austrian 364, where are you at the moment?
We are approaching waypoint, just a second.
That's awesome.
A Kilo Golf.
Lap 10.
We're approaching waypoint Kilo Golf, Austrian 364.
Go for 190 for now as well, because we can slow it down fairly quickly. We'll arm the spoilers.
Flight level 380, direct Turkiye.
Wonderful approach, isn't it, Mats? Slight tailwind now, actually. There's one flying in, so yeah, that's probably why we haven't got the circling approach, because we've ended up a little bit bunched up.
Croatia 255, continue climb flight level 140.
Continue with climb 140, Croatia 255.
Turkish 2472 via arrival, descent to 5,400 feet. Number 3, clear, report established.
Descend by the arrival to 5,400 feet, number 3, and report when cleared.
We're heading select for now.
For Turkish 2472.
We're going to keep going.
Osprey 762, direct to Tibet, descent to 9,000.
Direct to Tibet, descent to 9,000.
Not quite, Mats. Very, very scenic though, look at this.
Croatia 255, direct to Bosnia.
Very nice. We're kind of chasing this road in. We're chasing that road in, or we're going over that ridge actually, I think, maybe. Kind of hard to work out.
Flight level 140.
So vast. Let's pop those onto continuous for now. We'll pop the anti-ice off as well. Ropeat's all good, that's all looking fine. Quick check of everything else in the overhead, so we don't need the APU for diverting the bleeds or anything. Lights, signs. Clipper, welcome. Denver to Newark for you. Awesome.
Welcome back.
Little turn.
Tug 6 Kilo Foxtrot back at cockpit.
Welcome back.
Vets, thanks buddy.
Just sipping out of your Heathrow Magai 1 back in Honduras. Good memories. But the second best Seattle made thing in the world down, Seahawks FTW.
We go for 30 degree intercept, approach mode arms. Bring that speed to 180 now.
651 VATAdria radar identified, descent to flight level 3.
Single channel locks active, captured. CMDB on as well, and we'll rotate this to 113.
370, Ocean X 4651.
Glide slope arms. Turkish 1 Delta Romeo is established 13 miles.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, thank you. Contact Sarajevo Tower 118.250. Have a nice landing. Bye bye.
Contact Tower 118.250 for Turkish 1 Delta Romeo. Thanks, enjoy. 1219. Pre-tune ground frequency while we have a moment of calm here. Sarajevo Tower, good afternoon. Turkish 1 Delta Romeo 737-900 inbound to ILS 11 miles.
Turkish 1 Delta Romeo Sarajevo Tower, Dovardan, wind is calm, runway 11, clear to land, vacate left on Bravo.
Runway 11, cleared land, vacate Bravo, Turkish 1 Delta Romeo. Okay. $10 miles. Bella, thank you very much, really kind. Yeah, not everybody's cup of tea. Some people have been triggered a little bit by it, but you know, it is what it is. I figured we would try and do our little bit if we can to help in some way. Even we don't necessarily have to agree with what their government do. We don't have to like their president or whatever else. It's more to help the charities and the people on the ground, of course. I think sometimes it's nice to just try and help. Wow, look at this. Incredible approach. That's it. MPS game is going for 247. What do you guys reckon the touchdown rating is going to be for today? There's the runway. And we'll go flap 30. $6,500 for the missed approach. 113, 160 was 6 miles an hour. Steep approach though, so let's bring the speed down to 150 now. We're flap 30, auto brake 3, gear down 3, green and locked. Get flaps at 30 and green. Mandatory vacate Bravo. Steep approach for this. Let's get the auto throttle off. My throttle. And my controls.
Reducing to minimum approach speed for passing area 402.
Little bit of power just to take that rated descent out. So we're trying to hold the pitch because we've got speed nice at 150, so hold that pitch. If you're finding you need to descend a bit quicker, that's when you just drop the throttle back a little bit and you head on down. You basically sink. You increase your rate of descent by reducing thrust. It's really weird because it's kind of against what you think you should do. Now, because we're going to capture that glide slope again, or just increase the rate, the power of the engines, just to kind of capture and level out, smooth out that approach. All of a sudden now, every now and again we get this 5-knot crosswind just throwing us, but this is spectacular. Look how good the scenery is. This is default photogrammetry in MSFS. Slightly playful crosswind. It's keeping it interesting.
Approaching minimums.
It's a steeper approach. It's kind of more difficult to get your depth, but we're looking now at the runway. We're going to throw our vision in a moment right to the end to get depth of perception for flare. Here we go.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Reverse green. And decelerating. Not sure if we'll make Bravo, to be honest. We should probably try to help the guys behind. So manual brakes. It's quite a steep turn actually. Just need the engines to kind of wheel up and spring into life here. We've got one on final.
Ladies and gentlemen and dear children, please keep your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
What's that ground 121.9 for Turkish 1 Delta Romeo? Thanks, good night.
Please be careful while opening the overhead bins when the aircraft reaches its final parking position. We would like to say goodbye and hope to meet you again. Thank you for flying with Turkish Airlines, a member of Star Alliance.
Hanımefendiler, beyefendiler ve sevgili çocuklar, kemer ikaz ışıkları sönünceye kadar
Sarajevo
kemerinizi
ground,
bağlı
good
tutunuz.
evening. Turkish 1 Delta
Tüm
Romeo is
elektronik
vacated at
cihazlarınızı
Bravo.
kullanabilirsiniz.
Wow, yeah.
Uçak park pozisyonuna ulaştığında başüstü dolaplarını açarken dikkatli olunuz. Yolculuğunuzun iyi geçmiş olduğunu
Taxi
umuyor
stand 7,
ve
Turkish 1
sizlerle
Delta Romeo.
yeniden karşılaşmayı diliyoruz. Star Airlines üyesi Türk Hava Yolları ile uçtuğunuz için teşekkür ederiz.
Apologies, stand for for Turkish 1 Delta Romeo.
Welcome. Please keep your seatbelts fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. You may use your electronic devices. Please be careful while opening the overhead bins when the aircraft reach final parking position. We would like to say goodbye and hope to meet you again.
Get
As
that
a
off.
member of Star Airlines, thank you for flying with Turkish Airlines. Hanımefendiler, beyefendiler ve sevgili çocuklar, dünyanın buluşma noktası. Kemer ikaz ışıkları sönünceye kadar
Pro-peats
kemerlerinizi
off.
bağlı tutunuz.
And we're at stand 4 already. As you guys can see, the MXI Designs scenery here is pretty rubbish for payware. Not too bad a landing, was it? We kind of had to go for a bit more of a direct flare, a bit more of a pronounced flare because of that increased rate of descent. We've still got our flaps out, so just working those away. Bar brakes. APU's good, lights are all off, that's all set. APU gen is on as well, APU bleed is on. Let's cut the engines. 1 and 2. Is he going to bow? Or is she going to bow? Oh, just a little bow. Oh. I was hoping for another Gangnam style thing. Okay, anti-collision lights in the FMS menu, FS actions, ground services, chocks. Let's wheel across. We've missed a touchdown. Fly Bosnia. Got another one on approach. Okay, Callum, it's the Luke Air tool. It's freeware. That's how you get all your announcements and stuff. Deeper Dolphin, I don't think you can. What's going on with the grass?
Welcome to Sarajevo, taxi to stand number 5. Stand number 5,
GSX. The profile for this is a little bit messed up. It's a boarding.
The boarding requested.
Hey, what a great route this was. Very, very scenic approach towards the end. Spectacular views. Really nice ILS as well. To be honest, I'm probably thankful for it, because the circling approach being uncharted is a little bit more tough, a little bit more difficult. I wonder what the touchdown rate is. So elevation at the threshold to runway 29 is 1707, 1641 feet for runway 11's threshold, so it's a slight uphill slope on this one. Adam, there should be a button that says next. This is Ian, I believe, flying Turkish Airlines. Oh, look at that, great touchdown.
The boarding started.
Yeah, that's what I mean about the the custom profile. It kind of ruins it, doesn't it? So I'm actually going to bin off GSX here. Get rid of it. Problem solved. Yeah. Who else have we got? We've got one on final there. I can see the lights in the distance. Yeah, the wind's playful, isn't it, Avix? Who's next? Osprey 762. They've got Chris Dev, Lufthansa 8 Lima Juliet, flying in from Frankfurt. I'm not sure if he's on VATSIM though, actually, to be honest. Not sure. We'll find out. Lufthansa 8 Lima Juliet. Just go dot aircraft on VATSIM. Have a little look. Somebody's just connected as Bravo Victor X-Ray. Not sure who that is. Cool, the last one in then is this aircraft here. Avix. Who should be concentrating on flying and not the live chat. If we get some, like a crash here, then we know why. He's too busy typing in the live chat than anything else. Fly the plane. Marco says he's going to be heading here in August after a 12-year hiatus. Very nice. Ian's answering Dylan's question. Dylan got a question. Yes, Dylan is asking what is Jet 2's call sign. So as Ian says there, it's Echo X-Ray Sierra, and the call sign is Chanex.
Stand 1, Turkish 2472.
Not bad touchdown, is it? 198 foot per minute, 0.92 G, touchdown at 143 knots with 0 degrees bank. Got those wings perfectly level, 4 degrees nose up pitch with the wind speed at 5 knots, 020 degrees. So crosswind, slight crosswind, perfectly leveled wings, 4 degrees nose up pitch in the flare that we held for touchdown. Got that touchdown rating, not bad at all, I quite like that. Here he comes, he's going to be punching through that cloud any moment. It's a steep old approach, that. Look at this. Wonderful, isn't it? Oh, there's a second one on approach behind him. So yeah, maybe that Lufthansa is flying in after. So we've got 2 to watch. Big Jet TV Flight Sim Edition. The only Jerry impression I've got is easy fella. Usually that comes out when we fly around at Heathrow. We watch landings there. Badger, that's alright. Anything less than 400 I'm usually pretty happy with. The G rating is quite important as well. As long as it's around 1G. Ziga the King, thank you very much for flying into Sarajevo today. Hope you enjoyed it. We're running out of stands. We'll be disconnecting shortly, Ziga. Don't worry. Thanks for having us. It's a wonderful approach. Jack, have a great day, buddy. Enjoy that thing in quantum physics you told us about a minute ago. Can't remember what it is. Oh, definitely don't want that. Wind the time back a little bit so we can just see it a bit more clearly. Callum, no problem at all. All the fundamentals of this channel are about helping the community get a little bit more out of their flight sim experience, and we all have fun at the same time. Great touchdown. Representing the channel's virtual airline today. Good job, Avix. He's going to be working to vacate at Bravo, which is coming up. There's a Wizz Air holding over there, and there's another one. But there's so many aircraft flying in that the departures are basically held. Panzer's next, I believe. There's his lights. Thank you to everybody who has hit the like button so far today. To be fair, Ian, I don't think anybody noticed. That's good. Good going. And a little final reminder as well today, basis of the stream, or kind of the side note to the stream today, is raising awareness of the Disasters Emergency Committee appeal. It's a grouping of charities based in the UK that are helping both Turkish and Syrian victims of the awful earthquake. Over the last few days, over 25,000 sadly dead, 17 million people affected, and more growing. That number is growing, both numbers in fact are growing every day. So a link that is pinned in the live chat takes you to the Disasters Emergency Committee appeal, their official website, which allows you, if you wish, to consider donating to support the work of the charities on the ground in both Turkey and Syria, in the areas affected by those massive earthquakes last week.
Alpha 726 at Bravo.
Nice little touchdown.
Possibly 76 to Sarajevo ground, welcome to Sarajevo, taxi to stand 7. Stand 7, Alpha 76.
There we go, Sarajevo. One final check of Volanta. Got it good. There we are. Antalya to Sarajevo on the VATSIM Network, the very beginning of the fantastic VATAdria event. They're hosting a little event this evening between, well, covering Pula, Pristina, and here Sarajevo, where we've flown into for the first time on the channel as well. And it's really nice. The weather's dropped massively though. Just bring that time back a tad. Let's see what we got.
Sarajevo, Grand Turkish 2472 is at the gate. Thanks so much for the ATC. Have a great rest of the event.
A wonderful scenery. Look at that.
Thank you very much for
Thank you to everybody who flew along. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And thank you as well very much to all of our controllers of VATAdria today, including the director, who I had a really nice conversation with yesterday during night shift on Discord. People Dolphin saying Osprey getting more realistic by the day now the airline has a charitable support thing, and do you accept change in any currency? We certainly do. We just wanted to do our bit. We've done it before when Ukraine got invaded by Russia. We did a big charity stream there as well, trying to get the power, do a bit of good basically with this fantastic community across flight sim. Yeah, there we go. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday. If you're watching the Super Bowl as well this year, I'm supporting the Eagles, so go Eagles. Whoever you're supporting, have a great Super Bowl. And I will see you guys in the next few, probably in the next few days actually. So towards the end of the week into the weekend, I'll be going to be doing an earlier live stream than usual for those of you in Australia, New Zealand and the Far East as well, like Doc. So those of you watching in Japan, Thailand, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, I'll be looking at doing an earlier stream to help you guys out, possibly next Saturday and then Sunday as well for another stream. But in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Take care. Turkish 1 Delta Romeo, shut down on stand. Thanks for the ATC and enjoy the